Hi folks, it is the morning of the 7th of December and I'm about to actually drive down to Richmond. Weather's not looking all that promising though. Snowing out there. Just hope all will be well with the roads. It's supposed to be. Anyway, this is the results of that firing, which I did yesterday. Of all the pots that you saw me working on over the last days, namely tankards and beakers, raw glazing and decorating, etc. So what I thought was, let me just go through that with you quickly. If this camera stays on, it's having a habit of switching itself off for some reason. Yeah, I did have a few seconds down at the very bottom of the kiln. Let me see if I get a pointer here to illustrate. Down at the very bottom of the kiln, namely this area here where I'm pointing there, and also on the other side over there. Along that edge, it can get rather hot down there. So, if the firing is in any way, overfired, and I'll just show you the cone. What we had, that is the cone. That's a cone 10, and I've done it again. You know, it's just a little hotter than I really wanted it to be. There you go. A bunch of cones here from different firings, but yeah, that is just a little hotter. That there on the left of it, whoops. That one on, I'm trying to show you, that one on the left is not quite as hot as that one. You see, this one is beginning to snake. Anyway, let's show you some of the pots without further ado. Yeah, looking, I made some notes here. That's the kiln graph there. You can see there was an area here where I misread the clock because it was still on the old time. So I had to a period here in the middle of the firing where I burn out the organics here from about 1300 to about 1650, and basically that between there is supposed to be going a bit slower there to burn out the organics, that because I'm not having a bisque firing, so the bisque is incorporated in the glaze firing. We started reduction at 2030 degrees, 2030 degrees, and we finally the temperature on the pyro was 2292. What I then did was a fast cool. I fast cooled this all the way down to about 750 with the chimney wide open. Normally, you see here on the chimney, I would put like a brick. Well, I say normally. What is normal? I don't do that anymore. I let cold air just breathe through the kiln as soon as it hits temperature. And then I'll cool it right down to about 750, which will take a few hours to do that. And then I partially block it with a brick, just a regular fire brick like this. I put over, here, and I just leave a crack. You see, like that. I don't fully shut it. I just leave a little crack. And then, actually, with this firing, I started it very early. I started it at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I never usually do that. I usually start around about noon and then run late into the night. Well, I decided I was going to candle it the night before, light it, warm it when it was packed, and then get up early and start firing it. That's because I wanted to get this unpacked, because I'm going to take some of these pots down to Virginia, and I didn't want to have them so hot that I couldn't undo the kiln. So yeah, so this morning when we came out, at 8 o'clock, the kiln was fine to unload. It was still just warm, but just. So anyway, good. We had good oxides, as you can see. They come out quite nice. Had a bunch of them. Cobalt much better, much stronger than it had been. It had been a bit wishy-washy on the last firing. We had some tankards with some nice foxgloves, as you can see. Good iron, nice iron there, nice rich iron, nice sharp decoration, not too blurred. The glaze is a little on the thin side, the celadon underneath, which helped it not run too much, the iron. It came out actually really rather nicely. Okay, a bunch of those, and then we had just a couple of these. These were iron slip with sgraffito. They were handsome. Came out quite nice. It's always a good combination, that the sgraffito through the. You get some nice colours. They are sold. I bet someone will have those immediately. These are just tankards, milky glaze with the iron oxide, just plain, just wood ash sprayed over. This was hand blown, or not. I say hand blown, I mean with my own lungs, not with the sprayer. Okay, so there's a bunch of them there in that row. They all came out, and then there were these tankards. These ones were sprayed with the sprayer on the bottom part. Remember I said I sprayed that bit with along the bottom. Actually, I have a video, the previous video, which I haven't uploaded yet, which is the one that cut short in the middle. Well, you see me actually spraying these. Hey, they came out pretty handsome, I think. So there's a bunch of them. Again, more foxgloves. I've got quite a few foxgloves. And then we had these. These are the beakers with the random poured glazing, like the tankards there. So yeah, these came out pretty nice. The idea with these is you hold it there, just sort of below the bulge, as it were, below the belly, just here where it's got this ribbing, and it's not really glazed in the lower section there, so it's inviting to hold, you see. And these are all a little different. They're all much of the same, much of a muchness, but they're all a little different. So yeah, I was pleased with these actually. Arguably some of these won't hold a pint. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check that. I wanted them to hold a pint, and then somebody wrote to me and said, "Shh, you might need to make them a little bigger." Just to show you though the richness of the colours. This one has got the dimpling along the bottom here, which I did with my knuckle, if you remember. The cobalt blue came out a lot better. In my last firing, it got all washed out. It was terrible. This one is sort of plain and doesn't have any cobalt on it really. This one has like a banded line with two cobalt lines above and below. This has got that sort of thumbed base decoration, which I quite like. That's an old medieval English technique. And it's actually rather nice, I think. I think I might do some tankards actually with that along the bottom. I think it would go down well. So, yeah, I mean, some of these I'm going to, yeah, as I said, I'm taking some of these down to Virginia. Some will sell, and some of these we're going to put up on the website. So hang on in there; they'll be up very soon. A little strap bottle, small little guys here, quite nice. This here, let me swing that light across here. These GPs, yeah. always awkward doing this decoration on the inside of the GP bowl. It's an awkward form to decorate on the inside of. I don't know if you've ever tried decorating on the inside of a bowl. It's not that easy. But these, in fact, these ones were decorated with, as it was before, with the old cobalt, which wasn't very good, and I went over it a second time to get it a little better. It's actually quite a lot better. Nice satiny look to the glaze. These were some seconds here where I explained about that bloating. Don't know if you can see there. You see that bloat there on the bottom. That's because of excess heat is causing that. Right on the bottom shelf there. So these will be sold off cheaply. Just visitors who come here and see me here, they'll get them at a reduced price. These guys here, these are paddled forms, paddled and expanded. Yeah, quite tidy, sir. One of them is not so tidy. They had a hole in the bottom. This one, I don't know why. It's like it's got a. You can actually see. I don't know if you can see that. You can see daylight through it. Simon Leach, honestly. I don't know what happened there. I got a feeling it just might have been a bit thinner in the base than I realised, and cracked on me. This is just a freehand brushwork decorated little guy. Quite nice. Came out quite nicely. Yeah, pleased with that. What else can I say? Yes, as always, let's put this on the tripod here. Wow, we're still going. I keep having to format the card, you know, every time I use it these days it says, does not recognize this card. Please format, so I have to keep formatting it. I think I'm going to have to renew it actually. It's probably where that's going. Anyway, yeah, thanks for following along with this, with these pots. You've seen these when I threw them, when I handled them, when I glazed them. The previous clip is me loading them into the kiln, although the clip just cut off. Oh look, this is a, I don't know if you can see that there, it's a bit of a, we may not want to see that, Simon, we don't want to see blood. There's a bit of blood there. You know how I did that? A sharp shard of a, on one of these little, forget which one it was. Had some little stilts in the kiln, you know. These guys, and one of them, I didn't see it, but it's got like a, just there, it's got like a sharp bit. So do be careful when you're handling, unpacking. You can get bits of melted glaze that can be as sharp as a razor, you know. And you, this one, when I was unpacking it, I did that and I cut myself. And got some blood on it. So watch out for that. Always when you're unpacking a kiln, you can get these. So what we usually do now, after a firing, after any firing, we basically take the pots and you want to grind the bottoms together. Like this, okay? And you basically go through them all, and you grind them all off. Just in case they've got little bits of bat wash stuck to them or anything else like that. Okay, so don't forget to do that. It's just the last thing you really need to do, is grind off the bottom. You don't want to be putting these down on your best auntie's Victorian piece of furniture, you know, and marking the table. the sideboard or whatever it is. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. Just a quick overview there of some of these pots. You'll see they were all raw glazed, once fired, and as you can see, no more seconds really than we would have had if we'd bisque fired them all. We'd have still got the bloating. So I'm off down to Virginia, and I will speak to you next week when I get back to continue on with whatever we're going to be doing. Okay, thanks a lot. Hey, all the best. Keep practicing. Hang on in there, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Dee 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 dee. Dee dee dee.